Hi, my name is Michael Gillham. Welcome to Nightwatchman News. This is going to be our first video. I'd like to start a news service that's different from the mainstream news media product that's out there. Our main goal is to deliver you a news product through the eyes of people who appreciate freedom, liberty, and want justice. People that want our world to be safer and for the criminals who run our world to be punished. What I'm going to do is round up the news for you. At this point, I'd like to start doing a weekly video log and then a article accompanying the vlog. I'll bring you news stories from around the world, news of the weird, and news about our current political climate. Now, right now, we're living in a world that is controlled by corporations, controlled by a very small group of elite families. I'd like to bring you the news of the world that illuminates the plans made by these elite people to run our lives. Now, this is all beta testing at this point. As we move along, I'd like the news product, the quantity and the quality to improve, and I'd like to be able to post more often. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm from Salt Lake City, Utah. I work for the government-run medical complex here in town. I have a wonderful fiance and a 1-year-old baby daughter, and I love my family and I love freedom, and I want to bring that message to you at least once a week with relevant news items that can help you understand your world a little bit better. I am a classical liberal. That is not a liberal in the traditional sense as we know it today. I am a individualist anarchist, so I believe in free markets, liberating people, and bringing them the goods and services that they need without government intervention. Basically, my political philosophy comes down to nonviolence. I want to build a society in which people voluntarily exchange information, goods, and services with one another, and they're not interfered with by, be it a government system or any other agency that stands in the way of people peacefully exchanging with one another. My goal is to eliminate government to the maximum amount that we can. The rule that I have is the less government, the better. With that said, what kind of a world do we build without government? Those are questions that we can ask the day after the revolution. I think that as we move along with this vlog and with this blog and the articles that you'll see here, you'll find some ways to make this more and more of a reality. No, I'm not an expert. I'm not a central planner, obviously, and I'm against central planning. But I think that if we all work together, we can create a better world in which we don't need a central authority that is constantly looking over our shoulder, constantly in our bedroom, in our bathroom, telling us what to buy, telling us what to eat, telling us what we can eat, telling us what we can't buy, and basically limiting, to a great extent, the prosperity that mankind is capable of. Now, I'm a fan of man. I think that man has the potential to do great things. I believe that we can build colonies on Mars. But of course, we're not going to do it with the threat of global fascism looming over us. We must defeat the real axis of evil, which is the corporate and government superstructure that controls our lives and, to a great extent, the lives of every human being on this planet. And I would like to stop this from happening. I am a liberty-minded person. I'm a patriot. I believe in the United States Constitution. I believe in the Articles of Confederation. And I believe that the founding fathers of the United States of America had the right idea. They weren't perfect, and that's something that we can discuss as we move on with this news and with this information. But they had the right idea, and they knew how to give people the things that they wanted. They weren't threatened by everybody else being prosperous. What they were is they were business leaders. They wanted to become prosperous themselves, but they understood that there was a symbiotic relationship between the producers and the consumers. What we have today is a world where we have a political class and an elite class that produces nothing and consumes 99% of the world's wealth and much of the world's resources, and it's only going to get worse. What I will do at Nightwatchman News is show you the trajectory that the elite are heading us towards, gradually eroding our freedom, gradually devaluing our money to where it's almost worthless, and ushering in martial law. Now, if this sounds extremist or if it sounds frightening to you, look around you. If you go to the airport, the TSA searches you unlawfully, violating your Fourth Amendment rights. If you try to start a business, we have a crippling, prohibitive tax code that makes it difficult for entrepreneurs to bring us the goods and services that we need to survive. Now, the only answer to these problems is to allow people to freely associate with one another, and if they are acting on the behalf of themselves and their consumers in the greater interest of them, then they can be considered peaceable. We have a code of laws that's been passed down to us for thousands of years. The U.S. Constitution and the U.S. Bill of Rights simply enumerate laws that are immutable, that are unchangeable throughout history and across cultures. And instead, what we have now is a technocratic system where there is a tax code that's completely indecipherable by normal human beings, and even by some of the skilled lawyers and whatnot. We have a system in which people that want to voluntarily produce and exchange with one another are taxed, and they are constantly harassed by the government system. Now, the large corporations, they are in bed with the political structure, and they, for the most part, get to elude most of the onerous tax system codes and what have you, all these other barriers to production, because they are the favored class. And at Nightwatchman News, what we're going to do is examine the workings of the favored class, examine their comings and goings on a daily basis, and I will bring you the news stories that I believe are most relevant to this problem. Now, it's up to you as the vigilant viewer and consumer to not take my research at face value, but to examine my claims for yourself and examine my research and question some of the claims that I'm making. And there's no gatekeeping here. I don't, unless your comments are entirely inappropriate or abusive, you can say whatever you want on the website, and you can also email me at nightwatchmannews@gmail.com. And that website again is nightwatchmannews@gmail. You can get in touch with me, and I will do my level best to respond to you with any information or any concerns that you have. With that said, I'm just going to go ahead and sign off. Hopefully within the next couple of days I'll be giving you the first few news items that we have. And I just want to welcome you to my website, and thanks a lot for tuning in. Who watches The Watchmen? We do. Who's the Night Watchman? It's not me. It's you and me working together, and we're going to hold the people that are rich and powerful accountable for their actions. And I can't do it without your help. Thanks so much for tuning in, and stay tuned to Night Watchman News. Goodbye.